What's up, guys? This is Fly Tie MMA, also the progressive martial artist on YouTube as well. I just want to have a conversation with you guys about something I've been posting about and something I'm very happy to see catch steam. And we did have a conversation about Bernie or bust and why I think it's important. First things first, the reason why I endorse this strategy because we need more leverage on the oligarchy class. So if we pledge your votes to vote for them before then, what the only thing you're doing is enabling them to cheat us. So this is something I noticed very clearly at the beginning of the election. They was asking progressives to, they was asking more Bernie Sanders supporters, hey, if Bernie Sanders lose, will you support the nominee in the general? So I'm thinking, why would you ask that question? Because you would never see them ask that question to anyone else. They only Bernie Sanders support. So it was that moment. Then I kind of already see them kind of prime people to try and support a nominee so they can do what they want. And the result from Iowa should be pretty clear that they don't really care about backlash. They don't care about how much credibility they lose. They don't care about handing Donald Trump a victory because that's exactly what it did. You had Trump literally posting days before the election about Democrats potentially trying to cheat Bernie Sanders, and they do the most blatant cheating I've ever seen in my life. So that's first thing first. We need real leverage that we can use against the oligarchy class. And what led me to be Bernie or bust in the first place, and why I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton in 2016, is because I'm thinking about the long game. We can't just focus on 4 years. I have young nieces. I posted a picture of them not too long ago. I have young cousins. I'm into it in this fight because I'm fighting for the future. Going 4 years at a time has not helped the working class. In 2000, when we had Bush versus Bill Clinton, you had people that was supporting Ralph Nader because they was really strong on ending corruption. But the message you got from neoliberals at the time was, now is not the time. We got back George Bush. You have John Kerry versus George Bush, and John Kerry's main argument was that the Iraq War wasn't handled correctly, and that was disgusting. But we was told, bite the bullet. In 2008, that was the first time that progressives was pretty excited about a candidate and Barack Obama, which is even more disappointing when you consider how excited we was and the fact that Obama ended up betraying us. So 2012, this is an important election in terms of my political development because that's the last year I voted for the lesser of the two evils. They got me. They got me bad. I really dislike Romney. I was very disturbed by a lot of things about him, especially. I remember at the time when that 47% comment dropped, I was very, very upset about that. That's when I really started becoming class conscious around that time. So that comment really rubbed me the wrong way. And when I saw Mitt Romney and I saw the kind of people endorsing Mitt Romney, I saw the same people that absolutely terrified me during the George Bush era. That was a big part of my political development. So I bit the bullet in 2012 and voted for Barack Obama. So I was following politics really, really close, even from that day. And as soon as I kind of made that vote and seen how things worked out, I was very disappointed because you seen Obama double down on neocon policies, trickle down economic policies. And then I was reading about the drone strike totals. You hear about NSA spying. And then when I voted for Obama that year, I felt complicit. Like every time I read a story about an innocent civilian dying via drones, I felt like I was part of that, and that's something that I can't handle. I can't do it. I know there are a lot of people that think that controversial, but after those 4 years of seeing Obama double down, it almost like he was mocking us. Like, hey, dude, I tricked you guys to voting for me. I'm not ever running for office again, so hey, I might just do whatever I want now. I mean, he did a few good things at the end of his term, but the vast majority was giant for me. Like the pro-war, the drone strikes, the trickle-down economics pushing, not doing enough to fight climate change. Just I can go down a list, not doing enough for the black community, black income inequality soaring. He, I felt like he really was laughing at us the last 4 years. So after that, I realized throughout thinking that for a few years that we really had to think long term during these elections. So when 2016 came, obviously I was really big into Bernie. I thought he was gonna win. And when he lost to Clinton, I wasn't gonna vote for Hillary. I made my mind up on that before even I knew who Bernie Sanders was because of her run as Secretary of State. So when second 2016 ended and Hillary beat Bernie Sanders, oh sorry, let me go a little bit forward. When Hillary lost to Donald Trump, I posted about it a few times. There were a lot of liberals that was upset, crying, and filled with dread because of Trump. But when Trump beat Hillary, I was ecstatic because I knew we had another chance to elect Bernie Sanders in 4 years. So my point is, you see, it's all about thinking long term. If Hillary won in 2016, oh my God, the progressive movement would be shattered. It would have been absolutely destroyed. She picked Tim Kaine as her vice president choice. How do you think that would have gone well in terms of working with the progressive movement, which she chose Tim Kaine? And now we know that the reason why Elizabeth Warren betrayed us in 2016 was that she wanted the vice president slot. So she had someone that was vetted, that was, especially in the age of 2016, everyone thought Elizabeth Warren was a strong progressive right then. So if she picked Elizabeth Warren, it could have eased a lot of concerns, but she didn't. She picked Tim Kaine. Um, he was a union buster. He's a centrist Democrat to his core. Look at down his voting record; it's absolutely horrific. So it was clear the direction that the Hillary Clinton campaign was gonna, or sorry, the Hillary Clinton administration would have took. She famously said that Medicare for all will never come to pass. She didn't support a living wage. She made past comments about being aggressive against Iran and Russia. And if you see the pushback that we give Hillary now for attacking our candidates and for attacking our surrogates, um, the neoliberal establishment and the media establishment melts down whenever we criticize her at all. So what do you think would have happened if Hillary won the presidency? We wouldn't have any avenue to resist her on. Uh, when she go on any of these attacks, you would have AOC go after Hillary Clinton, and then they would bury her. Look how they treated Rashida Tlaib. They would silence our movement. They would call us sexist, misogynist. They would try to accuse us of helping Republicans. The Hillary Clinton administration would have been horrific. So I still believe to this day we dodged a bullet on that. Because obviously I was right, because now we're in a position where we have a chance where we can elect Bernie Sanders. So moving forward, when you look at this election, we honestly got to have that. It takes sacrifice to make real changes. If someone like Pete Buttigieg or Joe Biden is the nominee, I won't be able to fall behind them because I got to look towards 2024. If you have Pete Buttigieg or Joe Biden, actually Joe Biden would be a little bit different because he might drop out in the first term, but it'd be hard to throw in a strong incumbent administration like that. But having like a Pete Buttigieg and God fucking forbid Amy Klobuchar, there's no primaries. There's nothing going on 2024. You will have no administration backing a progressive insurgency. So you have DCCC who they are punishing people from supporting grassroots campaign. Not only will that be happening, they will have the institutional support to suppress progressives. They will have a president that will be supportive of uh, suppressing progressives. So once again, my main takeaway I want people to take away from this is you gotta play the long game. And throughout movements in history, there's sacrifices that unfortunately have to be made. You can't just immediately, reflectively, like, oh, we gotta stop X Republican because X reason. You gotta think about for the long term because this have not worked for our working class for the last 10 years. Income inequality skyrocketed. You have 45,000 Americans die each year because they don't have health care. This has been a failing strategy for the working class for the last 40 years. If it worked, I'll be all for it. Like, can you imagine that ever since the 80s, voting for less two evils have left us in a great position? Like, if the working class was in a fantastic position, if 1 in 4 children didn't live in poverty, if we didn't had endless wars, if prescription drugs prices wasn't insane, then yeah, I'll be all for that. But that's not the case. We gotta work with reality as it is now, and the reality of right now um, is that this strategy of the lesser two evils did not help the working class. So that's my overall thoughts on that, and I kind of want to lay it out. Like I said, I'm not a veteran making kind of videos, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to some more like kind of podcast updates like these. And I just think these videos are pretty fun to make. I had some people that asked me to make these videos, but when I started making them, I'm like, oh, okay, so it's kind of fun. So I appreciate everyone who checked this video out, and please leave a like and subscribe and all that. Thank you guys, and I'll be canvassing tomorrow, so hopefully I can have an update on that. I plan on starting around noon or so. But anyway, thank you guys, and have a great night, obviously.